Is a gorilla versus 100 people actually a fair fight?
No,
or
it's
is
not.
it actually a human?
The gorilla is
Let's
killing
find out
the
if
humans.
you like this kind of stuff.
Shut up, bitch!
What up, y'all? It's your boy Darren, man. We back with another reaction video, man. Today we finna be reacting to one gorilla versus 100 men debate. And okay, this debate been going on for too long, cause I feel like one gorilla will kill 100 men. Cause like, come on now, like, come on now. But I'm not finna talk too much. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers. Let's get into the video.
All of social media has been blowing up with the debate of one gorilla versus 100 humans.
I can't believe
The
people
funny thing
really
is
think
that everyone
that
seems
gorilla is
completely
gonna
divided
win, bro.
on
I mean,
who
that
would win the fight.
100
One side
people is
thinks
gonna
that the
beat a
gorilla would
gorilla.
pull a Winston and just completely thrash the
Every
army of
time,
humans with ease.
a man comes, the gorilla's throwing it or breaking his limbs. Break. Like, y'all can come all at once. He's smashing through all y'all. Like, it doesn't matter. He's like 400 pounds. 400 pounds, 6 foot. Y'all not killing that.
Other side
Y'all not
believes
killing
the
that
sheer
gorilla.
numbers
I'm
would
sorry,
let the
bro.
humans just beat
Y'all
up
not
the
doing
gorilla
nothing
like
with
it's
that
Naruto.
gorilla.
But who is actually correct? Is a gorilla versus 100 people actually a fair fight?
No,
or
it's
is
not.
it actually a stomp? Does the gorilla win, or do the
The
humans?
gorilla is
Let's find
killing
out.
the
If
humans.
you like this kind of stuff, make sure to
Especially
like, subscribe,
if it's
and
average,
let's jump
if it's
right
the average
in.
man.
Now, to begin, I think it's important to
The average
establish
man is like
both sides
5'7".
of this fight. For the gorilla,
It doesn't
we are
even matter
assuming
about
that
height.
this is
Average man
essentially
is
the
not even-
strongest gorilla
like, bro.
possible. Of the 4 gorilla species, easily the largest and strongest would be a silverback eastern
silverback.
lowland gorilla. At the absolute largest, gorillas can stand at over 6 feet tall and
see
weigh
what I'm
between
saying?
400 and 500 pounds,
6
the
feet.
largest ever being about 600
Like, bro,
pounds
a
or even
human-
beyond.
bro.
However, this fails to capture how a gorilla's
You gotta do
overall
more than 100
proportions
humans.
drastically exceed that of a normal human, with a wingspan of over 8 feet, drastically more muscle mass, and far less body fat. In comparison to the peak gorilla, the group of humans will be made up of 100 average people. There will be
See,
no
I told you.
boxers, no MMA
boxers.
fighters or athletes, and instead it will just be 100 totally normal people with totally normal physical stats, with there being an
told you,
equal
bro.
number of men and women. Now,
See,
technically,
especially if it's
average
like
height
that,
and weight varies
a
somewhat
human is not
drastically
doing
across the
nothing.
planet. So for this video, we'll be taking the stats from just Americans when possible. This means the 50 men in the group will be on average 5'9" and almost 200 pounds, while the 50 women in the group will be on average 5'4" and 170 pounds. Now, to be fair, Americans
No, it's
are
not
kinda,
women. We're not putting
fat,
women
so
in this.
ultimately, using
If
the
the men
statistic
can't
of a
do it, what you
healthier
think the women
nation
gonna do?
doesn't change these
If a
values
man
very
can't
much
beat,
or the
if
outcome, in
100
my
men
opinion. Still,
can't
either
beat
way,
gorilla,
the
what
gorilla
you
is
think
going to be
50
far
women is gonna
larger
do?
than any single human, exceeding them in height by a couple inches and being casually twice the weight of the average man. Also,
Bro.
just so we're all on the same page, this is what 100 people looks like. It's definitely not a small group, but it's also not a massive crowd by any means.
I'm
a lot
not
of
gonna
college
lie.
lectures
They're
have more
dying.
people than this in them. But that being understood,
That's
who wins
100.
this?
If that's 100,
Determining the true
he's
strength of
ramming
gorilla
through
is
all
incredibly
that.
difficult for
All you gotta
multiple
do is
reasons.
this.
Firstly, gorillas
With
ultimately
his
are
hand.
not a
He
predatory
don't even gotta
species,
use his
so in comparison
fist.
to something like a bear, a wolf, or any of the big cats, they rarely, if ever, go out of their way to attack humans. Secondly, unlike for humans that will willingly do experiments to test the limits of human strength, doing the exact same thing is almost impossible for gorillas because they're not just going to do a bench press for a couple of bananas, unfortunately. This forces most, if any, estimations of gorilla strength to be just that, estimations based off of their bodies and
every
the very
single
rare instances
human
of strength
that they
we
see.
have seen from them.
You see
Thirdly,
how they
there
can
is
do that to a
lot of
glass? What you
hearsay
think they gonna do to a
misinformation regarding
human
gorillas,
body?
with most online sources claiming completely different stats for what gorillas are actually capable of. Finally, a lot of info about gorillas that does exist is oftentimes really old. The biggest issue, though, is that inconsistent information. For example, one website says they can lift 1,800 pounds, while another claims they can lift more than twice that at 4,000 pounds. Things get even more wild when these resources put it in terms of humans. Some claim that a gorilla is 8 times stronger than an average man. Another claims that they are 4 to 10 times stronger than a human.
8 times stronger? A gorilla is 8 times stronger than a man. So what you think, bro? This shouldn't even be this shouldn't even be a debate. This debate got me stuttering. This shouldn't be a debate at all, bro.
Another source claims 12
times stronger than a human.
A
man
20 times
I don't know why
stronger than a
this is
human.
like, bro. It should
Clearly,
be
the
more
only
than
consistent
100.
thing agreed on here is that gorillas are stronger than humans, but this much variation in number between sources is enough to say that these numbers are completely made up or very unsubstantiated.
Bro, no,
so
it's
let's
obvious
look to
a
what
gorilla
actual
is stronger than a
researchers
man.
have said about gorillas, or what we have actually seen them do in real life. Consistently, gorillas have been seen uprooting thin banana trees, shattering protective glass, and have broken human arms in brief attacks. Smaller and weaker primates like chimpanzees have shown feats of strength 2 to 3 times stronger than that of normal human, around 800 to 1200 pounds. Given that chimps are less than a quarter of the weight of a gorilla, suddenly the 4,000-pound claims look slightly more valid and would approximately make them 8 to 10 times stronger than a human being lifting-wise, though strength and weight don't exactly work like that in a 1-to-1 ratio. Clearly. Looking back to older information, the statements get harder to verify, but could also be potentially more legitimate, as these were real interactions in the wild. We have accounts from 19th century explorer Paul Chalu recounting gorillas snapping and bending metal guns with their bare hands, or even an older account
snapping and bending metal guns. A man can't even do that. A regular human being can't even freaking bend a freaking metal gun. Like, what? Bro. But this, bro, like I said, bro, this is not a debate, bro. But gorillas are killing us, bro. I'm sorry. I don't care if it's a boxer. I don't even care if it's a wrestler. I don't care how tall the wrestler is. I don't care how much the wrestler or human being bench press. You're not gonna beat a gorilla. A gorilla, like, bro, come on now, bro. Like, bro, they is ramming. That thing is ramming through every single man that he sees in his way. A man is not going to do nothing about it either. It don't matter how much strength the man uses, the gorilla is going to it's going to stop it, bro. It's going to kill it, bro. It's going to kill every single one of them people.
Unable to pin a gorilla down. Finally, we have more speculative calculations around things like gorilla bite force and punching strength.
That's what I'm saying. You got to think about they're going to bite too.
Without, having the gorilla punch something that actually measures the force. Still, even the most lowball calculations put the gorilla's strength at around 800
somehow
joules of force,
crowd the
with the
gorilla,
highest
surround the
being
gorilla,
3,660
you know what I'm saying? But that's impossible because right when that first person comes, that gorilla going send him to I don't even know where. that gorilla going hit that man.
Speed is something we really need to talk about here. It isn't like other power scaling topics where either side is a blitz difference faster than the other or anything like that. Gorillas and humans are simply comparable in overall speed, with the gorilla being a bit faster in bursts of muscular power, though such speeds aren't exactly sustainable. So overall, gorillas are stronger, larger, heavier, and more powerful than multiple humans combined. Either way though, are the humans cooked? Let's get into it. Now, in a 1v1, 2v1, I think the gorilla could pretty easily take it. From everything we've seen, from historical accounts to estimations, a gorilla may legitimately be around 10 times the strength of average humans, making all of these random articles potentially correct even if they were just yapping. Single strikes and bites from a gorilla is going to be breaking bones of whoever is...
Bro, one hit is going to break whatever type of bone that it hits. You hit a human in the head, the gorilla going to hit the human in the head. His skull gonna break, bro.
Unlucky enough to be in range.
And that one hit on that one human is going to scare away 99 of the rest of the men.
Any human they manage to grab. Furthermore, most attacks from a human are simply not going to legitimately harm a gorilla. The difference in the basic lifting and punching power being so immense that the person punching the gorilla would probably hurt their hands more than the gorilla's body. But as the number of humans increases towards 100, things get worse and worse for the gorilla for multiple reasons. Firstly, fatigue. Gorillas are not used to, nor are they really built for long, drawn-out fights. Most conflicts between
they might get tired. That'll literally be their only hope. If the gorilla gets tired. If the gorilla gets tired, then the humans gonna win. But it might probably gonna be like 5 humans left when he gets tired, you know what I'm saying?
Which is actually true for most humans as well. But while the gorilla might tear through 20, 30, 40 people, boom, there are still 60 humans the gorilla has to beat in order to win. Secondly, in this fight, strategy and coordination.
So what you trying to tell me? These humans gonna have to get hurt. Some of these humans gonna have to get hurt for the humans to win.
For both sides. If
they gonna have to tire them out, but that's what it is.
They are very likely not going to attack and just run away. On the other side, if most people saw a gorilla beating up a dude, they're not going to jump in and help out. They are also running away. With that being said, if both sides legitimately want to beat the other with full conviction and no other options, 100 people can pretty quickly coordinate to absolutely bum rush on the gorilla, who simply would not be able to attack every person at once, even 20 people at once. Which brings up the third thing. weight. For as
Long
strong as
weight.
a gorilla is, especially a potentially tired gorilla, is simply not strong enough to hold off the weight of a coordinated group of humans. At the mid-end estimation of 1,800 pounds, even just 200-pound humans would be able to pin down a gorilla, with the only claim to the contrary being from a guy born in the 1500s. Would people get hurt and probably be killed in this effort to pin him down? But again, there are 50 dudes all prepared to do this, let alone the 50 women. But pinning isn't enough. The gorilla would need to be defeated, and even without tools, humans should be able to actually hurt gorillas. While human punches are far weaker than the apes, human kicks are overall far stronger. It can range from over 3,000 to over 4,000 joules, which is actually stronger than gorilla punches from a pure energy output.
So you really think them 100 men is gonna kick that gorilla? Gonna use their feet? I thought you said it's gonna be an average man. That means that man don't know how to do MMA, don't do boxing, regular boxing. Like, he's an average man. If it's like that, the gorilla is killing through them,
as crazy
bro.
as that sounds. So while yes, one guy randomly kicking a gorilla would probably do nothing, several dozen people all kicking at a gorilla's head while he's already pinned down would eventually take him out.
That's if they can pin him down.
100 humans could be a gorilla. If gorillas were truly a threat
I don't
to
care
literally
about this, bro.
100 humans at a time,
100 humans is not beating no gorilla, bro.
Gorillas actually, you know,
are y'all gonna pin him down?
Humans, while we have stories like this for elephants or bears. So the bottom line is this: humans most likely win, but you don't want to be at the front of the crowd when you're staring down a silverback. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. As always,
I don't care what this man says. 100 humans is not beating the gorilla. Alright, y'all, that's it for this video, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Ain't okay. He spit some real facts about gorillas and humans, but at the end of the day, he said humans is gonna win, and I don't believe that, because even though it's gonna be 100 men, somebody's gonna be scared. Somebody's gonna have to be the sacrifice, and I don't think nobody will want to be that sacrifice. So make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. We're on the road to 100 subscribers, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.